She's so funny. Hi, guys. Let me know when you're online. There we go. Someone's come on. Hi. Say hi when you're online so I know that you're here. And I know that you guys can hear me okay. Tonight's class, the playlist is 22 Brave Spring Has Sprung. You sent the email, didn't you, Rosso? No. Ross doesn't know if he sent the email. I thought so, because there's only one person on.
Just wait. You have to wait.
We're just going to wait. So we can just practice our breathing, those of you who are here and watching on playback. We love tech. Technology is so fun. Hi guys, let me know when you're here because that means that you got the email. Say hello. Say hi when you've come on, guys. Type your name in the woohoo! Yay! You made it. We're like, why is no one here? Oh yeah, we didn't send the email. Yoga brain. Okay, so looks like people are coming on. Hey Mark, hey Emily, hey Jess, hey guys. Namaste, glad you made it. So the playlist today is number 22, Brave Spring Has Sprung. So I just made this one up in the last few days, so let's hope that it works in my class. Always a bit of fun to try something new. So today, just to set the class up, we're going to focus on a theme of yoga, which is around non-attachment. So I think this has a really unsexy and unfriendly, I guess, feel about it, because when you read about it in the Buddhist texts or the yoga texts, it tells you that you can't have any attachment to things or people, and you have this idea that you have to be this monk that sells all your possessions and owns nothing but a robe and goes and sits on a mountain and never speaks to anyone ever again, to have non-attachment, which it can be. That's like the ultimate form of attachment. But in modern day yoga and our lives, the way that we can interpret this and the way that we can make it useful for us is in something quite different. And the best way I've heard this explained is that it is the process of giving space to things and people to change. And what that means is that you might have an attachment to a person that is a certain way. Like you might have, for example, you might have a friend that you always go to the gym with, for example, or a person that you always go out drinking cocktails with, and then that person changes and they might quit alcohol, or they may become pregnant and not go to the gym anymore. So then you have this attachment to that person being a certain way, and you have a condition to be friendly with that person. They have to be a certain way. And this practicing of non-attachment is knowing that everything will change. So people will change, your life will change, everything will change. And it has this beauty of acceptance and moving with that, which brings that theme of non-attachment. So we're going to just flow with a little bit of that today and focusing on opening the shoulders and the chest, which if you are into more spiritual side of yoga, it is heart opening, which is opening to being more relaxed, to allowing things and people to change. All right, so let's get our playlist together. Number 22, the first track is silent, so don't get too worried. There's no music for a little bit. And come down onto your mat into child's pose. So Hands out. I like to have my knees nice and wide and toes together and relax my forehead down. So we'll first start with giving space to the breath. And I'll do some counting of the breath. And if this doesn't really suit you today, you can breathe in any way that feels like it's serving you. So we'll inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale for 5. Hold for 5. Exhale for 5. And hold for 5. And then take your breath to any of those counts that felt good. Studies have shown that just 5 sets of these deep diaphragmic breaths into the belly can bring us into the parasympathetic nervous system, a place of rest and digest. And we can trick the body to come into this state just through using our breath. And then when you're ready, just taking yourself back to natural breath. And giving yourself space to feel what you feel. And when you're feeling ready, start to lift your head up, come into puppy pose. So we're sinking the chest forward. The first option is to look between the hands and place the chin on the floor. This can feel quite intense for some people, so just placing the forehead on the floor is a great option as well. The goal here is we're opening through the shoulders. You can bring your knees in a little closer if they're quite far apart. If you want to get further into the chest, you're going to sink your chest down, look between your hands. We even have the option of coming up onto the tips of your fingers, which is going to activate through the arms. So you can take it more active by coming into those cupcakes in the hands, or let the hands rest down, feeling that stretch through the shoulders and opening the chest. One more breath here. Slowly walking your hands closer. Coming into a tabletop position, stacking your joints underneath each other. Just checking that this is playing. Yes, it is. And then starting with a little cat-cow. So gazing up and then exhale, pushing the floor away, rounding through the spine. Inhale, gazing up, tilt the tailbone towards the roof. And exhale, really push that floor away and round the spine up. Coming back to center, we'll take a little twist. So inhale, reach the right hand up. Exhale underneath the body and let that shoulder sink into the floor. We're working today with chest openers and shoulder openers. So I'm going to open that left hand towards the roof. Maybe it comes behind you and grabs your thigh for a little bind. Releasing, relaxing your head onto the floor. If you want to take this a little further, you can stay exactly where you are, or if you would wish to come with me to take this a little further, you can reach that right leg out behind you, the left hand up, and take all of that weight onto the shoulder. So you don't want any of the weight onto the head. And maybe you can float that right foot up. Maybe you can bend the leg and reach behind you. Just an option. If you find that you're falling onto your head and putting pressure onto your neck, please come out of this pose straight away. and come back to a softer version of the twist. Bringing that left hand onto the floor, push the tippy fingers into the floor and then gently coming back to neutral spine. Little cat-cow. Exhale, push away. Inhale to neutral. Other side. So left hand reaches up. Exhale underneath the body. Relax the shoulder onto the floor and the cheek or side of the head onto the floor. Now, option to stay here or binding, opening the chest, maybe grabbing the thigh or just resting the hand on the lower back. Now, if you want to take this further option, push into that left hand so it's strong into the floor. Take all of that weight into that left shoulder and step the left leg back. Now, if you can, lift the left foot when it's flexed. Maybe reach behind you, grab the foot and come into a bind. Just an option, only if it feels good and if there's no weight on the head. To come out, release the foot, place it down, back under the body, and then using the right hand, cupcaked, pushing yourself back to a tabletop position. A little movement of your hips from side to side. You can roll the hips around. So the theme of this class today is around the chest, shoulders, because a lot of us are sitting all day like this, hunched over our computer. Chest is closed. So we're going to work with all this opening movement today. Now from here, you're going to reach the right hand forward and the left leg back, flex the left foot. Now, what often happens here is people do this, especially in yoga. I can't even do it anymore. They come into a back bend where the back leg comes really high and they're dipping into their spine. What I want you to do is chin to chest. I want you to bring your heel down so it's in line with your glutes. Tilt your tailbone so your back is flat and reach. So what you're going to notice is your left glute starts to work. And it's harder because you're not dumping into the spine. You're using all of the core. Now, just take that foot to the floor, tap it, and back up, but only in line with your hips. So don't take it up here and dump into your back, which is really common in us yogis. We're just going to stay nice and strong and long. Touch the foot and back. We've got another 3. Inhale back, exhale down. 1 more. And hold here. Exhale, knee to elbow. Rounding through spine in this one. Inhale back out. Watch that you're not dumping into back. Keep it nice and long. Think long rather than length. Exhale. Long and less rather than height, I should say. Exhale. It's number 3. We have 5. Get long. Flex the back foot. Exhale. 4. And long. Exhale. Last one. Long. Place it down. Give your shoulders a little shimmy. It can be a little hard on your shoulder or on your wrist. If it is, take a break, okay? Other side. Left hand reaches long and right leg. So again, we're not reaching high and dumping into the back. We're going to tilt the tailbone down, chin towards chest, reach long. So you're in a nice, long, straight line. Watch that right hip isn't twisting open to the side and it's actually straight towards the floor. And it really starts to engage the core and that right glute will really start to work. We've got 5 taps. Exhale down, inhale up. So only up into the line of the hips. We're not bringing it right up. It's just in line with the hips and you're activating that right glute. Tilt the tailbone. 2 more and 1. Hold it. Exhale, elbow to knee. Round the back with this one. Inhale to lengthen. Just keep it long, not high. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Flex the back toe. Exhale. That's number 3. Inhale long. Exhale 4. Inhale long. So get that elbow and knee to touch and push them together. It makes it harder. Inhale long. Exhale, hands down. Walk the hands high or further up. Tuck the toes. And I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs. Wrapping the shoulder blades around the armpits, which is a really weird thing to say. But what I'm looking for is this, a wrapping. Your hands are on the floor and I'm wrapping the shoulder blades. So rather than being up near the ears, there's space. So my hands are on the floor. That's how it should look, a wrap. So Super important in your down dog, especially hard to explain when you're first starting out. Look between your hands, bend the knees. Option to step or jump forward. If you're jumping forward, try to control the weight and the jump by squeezing the pelvic floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend through the knees and slowly roll up through the spine. Hands through heart center, reach tall. And hands down. Bring your hands behind you and open through the chest. We'll be doing a lot of this today. And then neck stretch. So allow your head to fall over to one side and feel a strong stretch through the opposite side. Close the eyes. Then rolling your chest forward and then over to the other side. So a lot of the time when we're sitting on our desks, we're in this position all hunched over through the chest. Yoga is a lot of pushing movements. So today I'm focusing on a lot of opening and back strength. Releasing the hands. Hands to heart. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale to fold. Bend through the knees as much as you need. Inhale halfway. Exhale, hands down. Option to step or to jump. If you're jumping, practice using that pelvic floor and controlling the jump. Coming into your high plank. We're going to hold this for a little bit. So in your high plank, there's a lot of different ways to teach this. But because I do handstands, I do protraction of the shoulders, and quite a lot. I do a rounding through the spine. Now, this is an angry cat pose on purpose because it helps with your handstands. If you're sinking into retraction, you're not using a lot of your shoulder strength to hold yourself in place. You're also getting a scapula, and the serratus anterior, which holds the scapula and the ribs and pulls it up, isn't working, which means you won't get into a handstand. So that's why I like protraction. Keep pushing against the floor. Imagine that angry cat. Relax the neck and head. Option to lower the knees to the floor if this is too hard. We're going to come down through a slow chaturanga. Bring the chest forward a little bit, not too much. Bend the elbows and come down to 90 degrees in the shoulders. Hold. Keep squeezing those elbows in towards the body like a tricep push-up. Chin to chest. Keep the neck long and hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Then push straight up, upward facing dog. Roll shoulders back. Maybe the thighs lift if you're using an active up dog. And exhale, down dog. Push down through heels. Pedal out the legs. Taking some breaths. Allowing yourself to have the space to feel what you feel. To allow poses to come and go. Sometimes you can do more than other days. And seeing if you can practice that non-attachment even in yoga. Look between the hands, option to step or jump forward. Sweep hands behind you, breath in. Exhale, come into chair. Get deep into your chair to activate through the quads. I like to have my thighs together and tilt the tailbone down to activate through the core and stop us from dumping into the back, which a lot of people will love to do that. So just if you tilt the tailbone, it'll keep your core engaged. Exhale, hands down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, hands to floor. Step or jump back into your high plank. You have a couple of options in your chaturanga. Lower your knees to the floor like I showed you. Or you can stay up and come onto your toes and down to 90 degrees in the elbows, untuck the toes and come up to your up dog with the thighs lifted. And exhale, downward facing dog. Not going the full way to the floor is actually a lot safer for your shoulders over long term and through high repetition. Look between the hands, step or jump forward. Sweep hands behind you. Inhale back up into chair. Exhale, hands down. Step or jump back. Choose your flow. Option one-legged chaturanga if you're feeling really strong. Inhale to up dog and exhale, down dog. Breath in, reach the right leg up. Push down through that left heel to get into that hamstring. Exhale, sweep forward between the hands. We're coming into warrior one. So place the foot 60 to 90 degrees on the floor, the left foot. Come up, open the chest. So warrior one's a tough one to get correct. So you're on train tracks. So you're not opening the hip to the side of the room. If your hips don't do this, come into a crescent lunge so that your back heel's off the floor, okay? Hands up. Bring your elbows into the sides of your body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and open your hands to the sides of the room. What are we doing here? We're using the muscles of our back to open the chest. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together like there was a pencil between my shoulder blades. I'm working on using my muscles to open my chest rather than just coming into flexibility through pulling of the hands. Coming back to center, hands to floor. Step back and flow. Option knees to floor, 90 degrees. Breath in to come into up dog and exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal through legs. Grip into the mat with your fingers and imagine that you're grabbing jam jars with your fingers and slightly rotating the jam jars outwards. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, sweep between hands. Breath in, rise up into crescent lunge or warrior one, whatever feels better for your hips. Exhale, hands come down, elbows into the tight towards the body. Hands out to the side, pinch your shoulder blades together. So we're rolling. The difference is that I'm rolling my shoulders open, using as much muscle strength as I can. Take your hands back to center and lower down. Step back, choose your flow, high to low. Breath in to come up, roll shoulders back. Breath out, down dog. We're going to pick it up a little faster. Breath in, right leg rises. Breath out, step between the hands. Inhale, rise into crescent lunge or warrior one. Hands behind you, open the chest. Palms touch, roll chest open. Lift hands away from glutes. Open up with the use of your hands, not just your muscles. Release the shoulders, hands down, step back and flow. High to low. Breath in, come up. Breath out, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step between hands. Breath in, rise up, crescent lunge or warrior one. Hands behind you, palms touch. Roll the chest open. Get low into the legs. Keep breathing. Exhale, hands down, step back. Choose your option, your vinyasa. Option always is there for knees on floor. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Straight into the next one. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step between hands. Breath in, warrior one or crescent lunge. Hands behind you, open the chest. Lift your hands up, palms touch. Exhale, hands down and flow. When you come up into your up dog, squeeze your glutes as well. Roll your chest open, tuck toes, down dog. Left leg rises. Breath out, step between hands. Breath in, rise up. Open the chest, clasp behind you. Get tall. And then maybe slide that back leg a little longer to get more into the legs. Hands to floor. Step back and take your option that you need. I'll meet you all back in downward facing dog when you're ready. Pedaling out the legs, taking some breaths. Maybe nodding your head yes and shaking your head no to release the neck. Breath in, raise the right leg up. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Make little circles with the foot. Maybe they go into the knee. Maybe they go into the hip. Now the next one is just an option. We're playing with wild thing or reverse down dog. So you're going to flip over and you're going to have your hips to the roof and reaching over the top. Just an option. I like to stack my joints here. Wild thing, you've got the right leg straight. I find there's a lot of pressure on my shoulder, so I don't really do that pose. Take your option. Come back to three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. You can always do this with your elbows on the floor as well, okay, if it's too much for your wrists. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, sweep between hands. Get low in the legs. We're coming into lizard, but an active lizard first. So hands on the inside of the foot. Slide that left leg back a little more. Chin towards chest. Little movements forward and back. Maybe you've got more flexibility to come down onto your elbows. If you feel you need movement and it feels nice, you can stay here. If you feel like you want something more passive, you can lower that back knee and relax into this beautiful stretch for the hips. We're about to make this harder though. Are you ready? So if you're not in a passive version of lizard yet, please come there. Maybe your elbows are on the floor, maybe just your hands. We're going to activate the hamstring. You're welcome to put some padding under that left knee if you have sensitive knees, like a pillow. We're going to point the left toe, squeeze the left glute, then bring the foot in towards the butt. Oh yeah. So what we're doing here is using the hamstring to pull the quad into flexibility. So we're releasing the back foot. I like to flex my toe there so it's less sensitive on my knee. Squeeze the left glute, point the toe, bring it in towards itself. So how much can you bring that foot towards the butt with strength, not with pulling? Gently release it. One more. Flex the toe to place it on the floor, then point the toe. Exhale, one more. Bring it in towards the glute. So see if you can use that hamstring strength to pull against the flexibility of the quad. Oh yeah. Untuck the back toe. Beautiful. Option to come into scissors here if you wish, if you want to torture yourself. If you don't know what that is, you can stay with us. Moving forward and back. Come onto the tippy fingers. Get ready to come up into a crescent lunge. Raise the hands up. Breath in. Exhale. We're coming into bird wing, which is the one I've been doing before, with the elbows into the side and opening the chest. Option to raise the front heel. Get lower if you're coming into strength. If you want flexibility, keep it down. Hands to heart. Inhale, grow long through the chest, and exhale to twist towards the left. So we're hooking the elbow and twisting to the side. The head and neck can be soft. If you do have a bind here, you're welcome to take it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just stay here. It's quite nice if you want to have two fists together as well. Just gets rid of some more extension in the wrist. One more breath. Exhale, opening up into warrior two. Get deep into the front knee. Exhale, an extended side angle. Left leg, left arm rises, right arm on the quad is option one. Coming into a half bind to come into our theme of opening shoulders. So that left hand comes behind you, gently can grab onto the quad. And you're going to work on just rotating that shoulder open and relaxing the head down. You're going to feel this strong stretch through the side of the left neck and shoulder. This is really great if you have issues with your shoulders or your neck. Stay here. If your neck and shoulder are pretty happy, maybe you can come a little deeper with the hand, or maybe you can come to a full bind. Now, instead of bird of paradise today, I want you to focus on the bind. So bring the hips under the body. So if your bum is out, bring it in so the hips are right in between the feet. And if you're dumping down in that shoulder, I want you to open it. So you're working on shoulder opening more than anything else. If you want an extra challenge and you want to do some type of bind move, you can shake it up and do bound half moon, which is actually coming onto the tip of your toe and raising your back leg up instead, which is way harder. So you can have a little play with that. Oh, not so good after brave sculpt though. So staying here for one more breath. Exhale, hands to floor. Step back, high plank. Option to lower knees to floor, chest forward and down, coming to ground. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open the chest, chin to chest. There's no need to look back. Tuck toes and come back to down dog. Breath out. Pedal through legs. Little shake of the head, little nod. Maybe create space between the teeth and move the jaw around. I don't know about you, but sometimes I realize how much I'm holding tension in my jaw and my teeth. So see if you can just create a bit of space. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hip. Maybe little circles into the ankle, into the knee, into the hip. You're welcome to stay here and play with these in the hip openers, or if you want to flip over, you can. So I like to stack my knees and my ankles, reach over the top. Some of you might even be able to come into wheel from here, just an option for those of you who are very bendy. Exhale, meet me back in three-legged dog when you're ready. Exhale, knee to nose. Breath in to come up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale to come up. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale to rise. Breath out, step between hands. Coming into lizard, slide that right leg back a little more. Little movements forward and back. So when you're pushing through the heel towards the back of the mat, you can start to feel a different stretch. See what feels good for you. Now, if you want to come into a passive version of this stretch, you're going to lower that back knee. Maybe you can even come onto your elbows. I like to move my neck around a little. Even move your body around. Find a spot that feels good. Everybody has different anatomy. So sometimes you just need to find ways that work for your body to get into a position. Let's work on those hamstrings. So padding up that back knee is a really good option because you don't want your knee crunching on the floor. So I like to use some extra padding. I might actually grab it for this side because this is my funky knee side. So I'm going to flex the back foot, prepare, exhale, point the toe, and bring it in towards the butt. So I'm using that hamstring to pull it in. Your hamstring might actually get a bit twingy, so just be really gentle because it's sometimes not really used to doing this exercise. Point the toe, exhale, bring it in. So we're using that hamstring strength to pull against the tightness of your quad, which can be really challenging in some people. So we're going to flex the toe to bring it down, then point it, exhale, bring it in. Got one more after this. Take it down, flex the toe, so you're not taking it all the way to the ground. Point it, exhale, bring it in. A little longer hold this time. Really use that strength. Don't just chill out and make it easy. Pull it in, use the strength. Feel it shake. Relax, take it down. Bring your hands back to center. If you did scissors on the other side, you're welcome to do it here. And prepare to come up into a crescent lunge. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, elbows into the side, opening out. So we're rolling the shoulders back. Call this one bird wing. Exhale, hands to heart. Grow long through the chest and twist towards the left. Again, double fists actually is really, really nice because you're not doing more of this, which you do this a lot in your chaturangas, in your planks. So having an opportunity to allow the wrists to be straight is quite good. If you have a bind, you can take it. And exhale, we're opening up into warrior two. Take a breath in, get a little deeper into the leg. And extended side angle. So lowering that right elbow onto the side. And we're coming into half bind, so rolling that top shoulder open, maybe grabbing onto the quad. I'm just working on rolling that shoulder open. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me a little bit more. So we're rolling up. So what happens is often people will start and they're rotating down, which is going to really prevent you from binding behind your back. So see if you can work on rolling that open. If you have a full bind, come into it. And I want you to stay here or come into a more challenging bind option than Bird of Paradise. So this is working on opening the chest, bringing the hips under the body. If you want to come into bound half moon, look in front of you, come onto the tippy toes of the right foot, then you can start to practice with straightening it behind you. It is super hard, so don't worry if you can't get it today. Just work on the bind, half bind or full. Hands to floor, step back and flow. High to low plank. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Walking out the legs. Look between hands. Jump or step forward. Sweep hands behind you. Breath in. Exhale, come into chair. Coming into balancing. So eagle pose. Right leg over. Right arm under. If you can't twist your arms, just place your arm bones together. So if this is too much for your shoulders, you can just place them like this, okay? We're having a little challenge here because I've been doing this one for a couple of weeks now. So I'm going to exhale, bring the elbows and the knees to touch. Inhale to rise up. I'll show you from the side. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to rise up. Let's do 2 more. Exhale. If this is too much for you, just hold the eagle. Inhale, rise. Take 1 more breath. Exhale, raise that right knee in towards the chest. Keep the hands in eagle. We're doing that evil karate kick out. So we're going to flex through the heel and kick the leg out straight. Oh, yes. Bend the knee in. Sweep it behind you for aeroplane pose with eagle arms. Flex the back foot, otherwise known as warrior 3 with eagle arms. Hold it here. Get long through chest. Bend through the left knee, get long through the back leg. Place it onto the floor with control. Come up into a lunge. Optional little back bend if that feels good. Exhale, come back to center. Place that foot onto the floor. Come into warrior 2 legs with eagle arms into the center of the body. Ostrich, hands to floor. So we're going straight down, a little different to humble warrior. If your hands are not binding, you can actually have it take a couple of options. You can actually bind your hands, grabbing your arms behind you and come into an opener instead, if that feels better. So just work with what feels good for your body. 1 more breath. And gently coming up, open the hands, warrior 2. Half moon. Look at where you're going. Option to grab a block can be really nice. Place it in front of you. Rise up into your half moon. The back foot is flexed. That right glute is pulling the right leg towards the roof. Exhale, hands to the floor, standing leg splits. So the hips come so they're facing towards the top of the mat and folding over that front leg. So you can point the toe here, engage that right glute and lift that right leg as high as you can from flexibility. Folding as much as you can over that left leg. Option to stay in flexibility, or if you want to work on strength, handstand hops. So a couple of things with handstand. Protract through shoulders. Look at where you're going. Come onto the tippy toes. Look in front of you. Get active through the legs. And then little jumps. So it doesn't matter if you get up. It's just the sensation of trying. So it just raises the heart rate. And when you've had enough, you can even do it against a wall. Come into ragdoll. So grab your elbows and fold over the legs. If you are working on your handstands, you can have a little bit of extra play against the wall now while we're relaxing if you want. Seaweed arms, so let your arms be really lanky and soft, touching the floor. Then gently move your body from side to side. Let your arms be really soft like seaweed. Bend through the legs, slowly roll up. Hands come to heart. Exhale, sweep the hands behind you and come back into chair. Breath out. To do the other side now. So left leg over, left arm under. So again, take your options if this doesn't feel good for you. Now let's do our crunches. So exhale, elbows to knee. Inhale to open. Keep that balance. Exhale, elbows to knee. If the balance isn't working for you, just place the foot on the floor. Okay, it'll help you balance. Exhale, let's do 1 more. Inhale to open. And stay here. We'll lift that left leg up. You ready for the karate kick? This is the torture move. Flex a foot, extend the leg straight. Oh my God. Bend the knee, sweep it behind you. I think that's when people swear at me at that pose. Coming into warrior 3. Chin to chest, neutral neck. So bend through that left leg, get long. So bend through the right leg, get long through the left leg. Step it down, come up, crescent lunge. Optional back bend. Inhale to open the chest or open the back. And exhale down. Coming into warrior 2 legs. So the front heel's in line with the instep of the back foot. Ostrich. Hands are in the center of the body at eagle. Get deep into the hips and come straight down. Let your head be heavy. Again, if you want to take a different option, you can bind the hands behind you and work on opening the chest. Gently coming up, using that strength. Open up into your warrior 2. Coming into your half moon. So grabbing a block, stepping forward and opening that hip. So again, imagine that right glute or left glute on this side. You can poke it, make sure it's working. You're flexing that left foot and it's all in one line. So you're looking for your head, hip, foot in one line. A block really helps you with that. If you don't have a block, you can place your hand on the floor or you can just bring yourself up with strength. One more breath. Exhale, hands to floor. Raise that right leg, point the toes, standing leg splits, the other torture move. This is super hard because you're working on the strength of the left glute and the hamstring, lifting the leg against the flexibility of the quad. And you're also getting flexibility through the right side, sorry. Option, handstands. So protract through shoulders, get onto the tippy toe of that right leg, look where you're going, and you want to get that leg a little bit over the head. I don't want to hit my plants if I fall over. And then see if you can hold it. Doesn't matter if you can't hold it or if you don't get up. It's just the idea of trying to get there. And then when you've had enough, come down, ragdoll, grab your elbows, fold. Maybe bind your hands behind you, open the chest, and bring the hands over the head. Working on that theme of chest openers. Releasing the hands and slowly coming down to the floor or coming down to a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the legs. Half pigeon on the right side. So right leg raises up to prepare. Exhale, bring it between the hands. So the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. And you want to just check your hips. You can sometimes be falling towards the right. There's a lot of different technical cues you can use. A block can help you under the right glute to keep you nice and stable in the hips so that you're not twisting and folding forward and down. You're feeling this in the glute muscle, glute max and piriformis, which is a hip flexor. So it'll take a while to get there. So we normally hold this one for a little longer. Today we're working more on strength, so we won't be here for too long. We normally hold this one for around 3 minutes. Now you have some options. You can work on flexibility and be passive, so let yourself be heavy. Allow your body weight to relax onto the floor. The body weight's going to push you more into flexibility. Or option for active pigeon. If you have a block, take it out. Untuck the back toe and lift the quad off the floor. Hands can come up in front of you into cupcake fingers. And what this is going to do is make it a lot more intense. So you're activating through the back leg and you're also taking away a lot of the support so that you've got more weight on your front hip, which is going to make that stretch a lot more intense. Keep your chin towards your chest so the neck is long. Soon as this gets too much, soften down. You can even move between the two. And always being mindful of that front knee. If there's any pain, please come out. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Wow, for me, it's really sore today. I don't know about you. It's always different. In our theme, allowing for things to change, even poses change. Some days they feel easy, some days they feel hard. Gently pushing yourself up and come back to a downward facing dog when you're ready. We're going to shuffle the legs, so bending one and then the other. Oh. I love the non-attachment explanation of allowing people and things to change, because it really stops a lot of resistance in our lives, because we get so upset. Like, everyone has their favorite coffee place that closes and they get so angry, or their favorite type of ice cream flavor. And when they can't get it, it makes you angry sometimes, right? Left leg rises up. Exhale, sweep between or near towards the hands into half pigeon on the left. So if you want to get deeper, come onto the tippy toe of the back foot and move that back leg a little further back. Always be mindful of the knee on the front leg. If there is pain, please come out of it and don't put so much weight on the front leg. A figure 4 on your back is a really great option if you have knee injuries. Pigeon can be quite intense on the knee. Option for passive, relaxing with your weights. Or active, hands in front of you, cupcakes, untuck the back toe, lift the back quad. Your body weight is now resting on your front leg, on your glute. So it's pushing it down even more. And you're also active through your right glute and right leg. Chin to chest, chin to chest. Stay active in this as long as it feels okay, and then relax. It's just an option. We'll take 3 more big breaths wherever you are. And when you've taken your last breath, gently pushing yourself up, coming back to your downward facing dog and walking out the legs. Spending a little longer in our back bend sequence, or our back strength sequence, I'd like to call it today. So we're going to come into a plank pose. And if you have sensitive wrists, shoulders, or anything in the upper body, please lower your knees to the floor for the next part. We're going to come down all the way to the floor in a plank. So if you're in your high plank, protract through shoulders, come forward into a chaturanga movement. Elbows come in towards the body for 5, 4, 3, 3, 3. I'm not that evil. 2, 1, all the way down. Coming into locust pose. So we're going to do this a little differently, and I'll say why. Normally with locust, we bind the hands and we use that to open the chest. But we're going to do it without the help of the hands. So we're going to inhale, open the chest, lift the shoulders, roll those shoulder blades together, palms to the floor, thumbs out to the side, roll it even more, so much that your top chest is lifting and you're just on your belly. Maybe squeeze your glutes, lift your feet off the floor as well, chin to chest. Keep squeezing those shoulders blades together, open the chest, squeeze the glutes, lift the legs even more. Using all of the back muscle and not the hands to help you. And exhale, release, left cheek or right cheek onto the floor. So that heart rate really starts to rise. You might hear it pounding against the floor. Now, this is a great movement because when we spend so long with our chest closed, so sitting at your desk or over your phone, pretty much most movements, we're getting weaker and weaker in our backs to open our chest open. So we're hunching forward more and more. So let's do that again, and that's why this is so important. So we're not using the hands. So get long through the head, so chin to chest, long neck. Roll the shoulders up first. Squeeze the shoulder blades in towards each other. Palms to the floor, thumbs out to the side. Roll it open even more, so much so that you're onto your belly. Squeeze your glutes, point your toes, lift your legs up with the strength of your booty. Keep lifting. Open the chest, chin to chest. For 3, for 2, for 1. Left cheek to floor. Maybe making a little pillow with your hands. Come back to center. Bow pose. So we bend the knees, we flex the toes, flex the feet, I should say. Normally what you'd see is you'd reach behind, grab the heels, and pull yourself up with your hands. There's a lot of things going on here which isn't cool. And it's mostly just dumping into my back, and I'm not actually using any strength. So we're going to change it. We're going to do what we did before. Roll the chest open, shoulders together, palms to floor, thumbs out to the sides of the room. Open the chest even more. Use your back muscles to lift you. Engage your glutes, poke them. Lift your quads off the floor with your glute muscles. Keep the feet flexed. You're on your hip bones on the floor, and it is hard. Chin to chest. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing. Keep lifting. And drop. Right cheek to floor, look towards the left. Now we're going to practice doing that, but with the hands. First, we're going to use the strength, and then we're going to use the hands to pull and push to get even higher than we normally would. With the strength and flexibility, you get a lot better results. So let's try that again. So, bow, grabbing the ankles. I like to point my toes for this one when I have my feet to make sure when I engage my glutes, my knees don't go too wide. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, open the chest. Come from strength first. Don't pull yourself up. So we're lifting with strength. Squeeze the glutes. Lift your legs with your glutes, and then start to kick away. You're going to get a lot higher. Chin to chest, maybe some little rocks, forward and back. Keep strong. One more breath. And exhale, release, left cheek to floor. Maybe, if it feels better, pillow for your forehead. And keep breathing and allow that heart rate to start to slow. Pushing into an upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back. It's not time for nap time yet. Getting close though. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, I can already feel all my back muscles there working after that. Pushing down through heels. So bending the knees is totally fine for a down dog. And I did this for many, many years. I've only just recently started to be able to get my heels to the floor. So having your knees bent is fine. Look between your hands. Bring your knees between your hands. Coming into camel pose, the ultimate back bend. So I like to fold my mat over at least 2 or 3 times. Bring the knees onto the padding so that your knees and your hips are in nice one line. Tuck the back toes. This is so you don't have to go so far back if you want to reach back towards your heels. First time we're not going to though. So taking all the same principles, roll the chest open, squeeze the shoulder blades together, hands out. So thumbs out to the side, open the chest. Use all those muscles to open the chest, squeeze the glutes to extend the hips forward, and then start to lean back. Now, if you can maybe touch your calves at this point, and you feel like you might be able to go the full way, you can maybe move your hands onto your heels. And if it feels okay for your neck and head, you can allow your head to go back. Stay for a couple more breaths. Whenever this is too much, place your hands on your lower back to support you, and then slowly engage your core to pull you forward. So we're using the core to pull our whole body back to center. One more option of those, you can have the option to lower the tops of your feet to the floor if you want to go deeper this time. Option to just have your hands on your back and just to go back, but not the full way back. I'm going to do that option first and then show you the deepest option for those who want to take it. So I'm going to place my thumbs into my sacrum and fingers around the hips, elbows back, squeeze the glutes. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze them together, come from strength, squeeze the glutes, extend the hips forward, lean back. Some people might want to stay here, chin to chest. If you want to go the full way, come back, hands onto the heels. Chin can stay to chest or fall back if it feels good. Keep squeezing the glutes, stay strong through the body, not dumping into flexibility too much. We want to protect our bone structure, not just dump and crunch. To come out, hands come onto your lower back to support your back. Use your core and the strength to pull you forward. Gently, the chin comes towards the chest. Sitting on your heels or between your ankles, let the back be nice and long. Close the eyes. And allow the heart rate to slow. So a lot of opening movements today. A lot of back bends coming from strength. So we're going to come into a fish pose with a block. So this is a really beautiful chest opener. If you don't have a block, you can use a pillow or a bolster or a number of pillows. I've got 2 blocks here. Depending on how flexible you are, you can have them on the top or the lowest height. You're going to place them behind you in a line. You want your head and neck on one, and then the rest of your back on the other, and your glutes down here. So I'm going to sit back on these. So that's at the base of my spine, and I'm going to just sit back over that and open the chest. Now for some people, I'm quite small, so this might be halfway up your back, and you're going to be rolling open the chest, and the head is resting on the blocks, and you're opening the chest towards the roof. Doing this on a pillow also feels awesome. So if you have some pillows on the couch, you can use those too. You can close the eyes, and the feet can just be relaxed. You can just start to play with that passive back bend, the chest opener. And if it doesn't feel good, please just come out the same way you came in or roll off the side and place the blocks a bit lower. So don't be a hero. If it doesn't feel nice, change the height, because you can make it really enjoyable. And you're welcome to stay in this fish pose, or a version of this, a more relaxed version of this for your shavasana, or come into a shavasana if you wish. If you would like to take a little bit of a supine stretch for your back first, you're very welcome to. So coming onto the floor, bringing the right knee into the chest, and exhale it over the top of the body to come into a twist. Gently back to center when you're ready. Straightening both legs. And exhale, left knee in towards chest, pulling it up nice and tight so the lower back becomes nice and long against the floor. Exhale that leg over the top of the body into a twist. Coming back to center. And taking any last movements that you feel you need. A happy baby is always a nice choice, especially if your back is sensitive after the back bends. And for your final Shavasana, you're welcome to take a version that is a gentle chest opener. So having blocks or a bolster behind you or pillows. And laying back, allowing the chest to be open for the final Shavasana. And you're welcome to stay a little longer in your Shavasana if you wish. But if you would like to come out with us, you can start to gently making little finger movements and little toe movements. Maybe little circles with the feet and the hands. And when you're ready, bringing your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a cuddle. And acknowledge the space you've given yourself today. And acknowledge that everything will change. And that's okay. rolling onto your favorite side, keeping your eyes closed and using your bottom arm as a pillow. Using your top hand to help yourself up to a comfortable seated position, legs across, hands to the heart center, and keep the eyes closed. And I'll finish the class with just taking us back to the theme of non-attachment. To take a moment to reflect on your week or your day and see if you had expectations over a situation, a person, or a thing that if you just let them be themselves, or if you had less expectations from your side, things might have been a little easier. Sometimes this is hard to understand, but one way you can explain it is having relationships with expectations or conditions. So I will only love you if you remember my birthday, if you do things for me, if you do more for me than I do for you. Have a look into your life and see if you have those relationships of condition. And maybe you can release a little bit of attachment around some of your expectations that are actually more about you than they are about them. Maybe this helps you, maybe it doesn't. But have a play with it. Namaste, everyone. See if you can find one thing that you could practice a little bit more non-attachment, which means giving it the space to change and not holding on to it staying the same. All right, have a lovely evening. I really enjoyed teaching you. Hope you enjoyed the class, and I will see some of you on Saturday. So thanks, guys. I went a little bit over because I think we started a little bit late. So yeah, hope that's okay. Bye, guys. Have a good evening.